Hello? Yes. Yeah, this is Zachary Michael. You're kidding me. You're not serious. You've gotta be joking. Well, listen, I only just recently came out of retirement when it comes to these kinds of services, so my fee has gone up. My fee has gone up. You know, it's a tough world out there. If they're taking away all of these YouTubers' incomes, what's to say I'm not next? I'm gonna have to raise the price. Yeah. But we can do it. We can work something out. Let's work it out on the remix. Yeah. For sure. No worries, Diva. I got you. I'll take care of it. It's handled. Well, here we go again. I didn't think I'd be busting it out so soon. I didn't think I'd be doing this again so soon, but you know what? When you're good, you're good. When you're the go-to person for this kind of a thing, you just gotta show up when the community needs you. You really do. So, you know what? We're gonna make it work. Divas. Dearly beloved, we gathered here to say our goodbyes. Here she lies, Rosie's monetized content. No one really knew her worth. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is my dog Potato, and welcome back to our channel. You did, in fact, hear correctly, divas. You heard correctly that Quirkyloverosee, Rosie Lynn Reed herself, has followed in Amber Lynn's footsteps, and her channel has been demonetized. Now, seemingly this is in line with the same general reasons that Amber Lynn's channel was demonetized. I assume it has something to do with disordered eating, self-harm, etc. And YouTube has been, I don't know if they're necessarily like updating their terms of service, but they're definitely changing how they're dealing with that type of content here on the internet. And as such, Quirkyloverosee yesterday found out that she'd been demonetized. All the memberships on her channel are gone. Nobody can super chat her anymore, and she also cannot generate AdSense revenue. I have some more thoughts about YouTube cracking down on this stuff that I'm happy to share here in a little bit. But I first want to share with you Rosie's game plan moving forward, because she made a community tab post, she has set up a Patreon, and she also did a live stream last night to talk to her viewers about the situation, where, mind you, she also still was eating food and still cooking lots of food on her channel. So I don't really know what she thinks is gonna change, but I digress. Let's start with the community tab post. So on her community tab yesterday, she posted, "Hi friends, please follow this link to read my statement regarding my channel's monetization and future content plans. Make sure to follow over there for updates." Unclear why she chooses to capitalize some words in that sentence and not others, but okay. All right. And anyways, she links to the Patreon, and then she says, "I'll see y'all soon on YouTube Live shortly. There is an option to follow without payment on Patreon. My first live there will not be behind a paywall." Which then takes us to her Patreon. And divas, when I opened this up yesterday, I opened it up while I was on live stream because I was streaming on Twitch and people were talking about her getting demonetized, and I pulled this up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is almost like opening up my DMs back when she was sending me DMs constantly. This is like when I would open them up and just see paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs of words from her. So bear with me, because this is in fact a very long statement that she goes on to make. She says, "Hello friends. Today, YouTube decided to demonetize my channel. It's pretty clear from everything that has been happening recently that YouTube's reliance on AI moderation is causing massive issues for many creators, and I am simply one of them. As I have stated in the past on my YouTube channel, it is my time to take these things in stride. I said I would pivot, and this is how I'm going to pivot. I have set up multiple ways to hopefully bridge the gaps if I do lose the appeal to YouTube. I have this Patreon page from when I was a fan of a podcast in 2014, so I'm thankful to have it to be able to set up for exclusive members-only content." I am kind of confused about why she's even including the account existing because she was a fan of a podcast. Like, girl, you don't have to do anything special to set up a Patreon. Who cares? Who cares if you had this account back because you used to support a podcast? Anyways, besides the point. So, to my supporters, I will, for the time being, move forward to have all members exclusive content on Patreon. I will need a little time to look into how the platform works for everything to be set up completely. From my quick reviews, I should be able to add my custom emojis, stream from my phone and laptop just like I did on YouTube for members-only content. I've created 3 tiers with different perks. Make sure to check those out. And we will. And we will, because they are kind of funny to me. She goes on to say, "Demonetization sucks, but it is not the end of the world. I have worked hard on my YouTube platform." Have you? And I'm going to continue to work on learning this platform, building a catalog, and hopefully having ways to engage more directly with you guys. Even if I lose the appeal, I'm confident reapplication will be approved. And if my confidence turns out to be delusion, then I will find another way. In the meantime, this is obviously a very scary and uncertain time for me, my parents, and my brother, as my income is an important factor in our household. My Linktree contains all my pay links, merch site, Ko-fi, this Patreon, and my new Cameo linked here. So there's her Linktree, okay? Prior to the new wave of demonetization, I was planning to launch a Cameo in December after some time had passed from my merch launch. I was undecided if I was going to do that because I felt like it would seem I was copying other creators in light of these changes. But at this point, I just need to do what's best for me. I'll be happy to provide personalized video shoutouts, short tarot card pull readings. Y'all getting your tarots read? By Miss Rosie Lynn Reed. Give advice on any situations you may be in. Imagine getting advice from Rosie. Or answer any questions or requests you may have. Although, you know what, I say all the time, people ask me for like pep talks and advice. I also am not an expert. But if you want a Cameo and ask me for a pep talk or advice, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And maybe that's all we can ask for from Miss Rosie too. Anyways, she continues, because again, I told you this is long as fuck. This is long as hell. As always, it is never expected or mandatory of my supporters to financially support me. I never expect it from anyone. However, with this situation, I am in a very concerning and precarious position. I have already, for months now, been off and on looking for a job. I was already in the job hunting process before this event happened because I knew it was a possibility. As we all know, the current job market is a hellscape. I also want the ability to save up for a car and such. I decided months ago and told my community I would not be discussing the status of my job hunting online because even the mere mention of it caused me to be bombarded every time I went live with whether or not I got a job. So, just know I am going to continue on that venture with even higher levels of priority than prior, but I will not be providing job hunting updates until I have landed an actual at-home position. This is just a challenge I have to overcome and find ways to bridge the gap until I have a steady income again. I believe in the power and energy of the universe, and I believe the universe does things and causes disruptions to force growth when needed. I've been dragging my feet in some ways, and I'm going to choose to find this situation as a blessing in disguise. I love YouTube and content creation for the love of the game. My frequency of YouTube content will have to change simply because we live in a capitalistic society and I need money to live. So while I may pop on YouTube from time to time, I will be experimenting with different content options here on Patreon and getting feedback from my members in the process. I really, truly hope to see you here. So I do want to say, in regards to Rosie's response to all of this, I do appreciate that she's actively looking for ways to, maybe move on from this and find other options. When Amber Lynn got demonetized, I was really confused that she was just opting to give up, to be done, to be over with it. And I think that's mostly because, there are other things that she could do. And because of that, I really do kind of think that Amber Lynn might be done with the internet, at least for a while. And honestly, truly, if that's what is best for her and her family, I think she should do it. So I was genuinely happy. Well, I don't know. Happy is probably not the right word. But I was genuinely surprised to see that Rosie was trying to do some new things. So listen, I'm not a complete hater. I respect the hustle. I respect that she's trying to move on from this and do the best she can with the card she's been dealt, okay? I will say, if she wants some actual, real practical advice from me in terms of being, on social media and a content creator and things like that, I don't know that Patreon is the way to go and to continue building a base. She will absolutely have support from some people who already support her on YouTube and want to move over to Patreon. But Patreon as a platform itself has always been intended to be a supplemental thing to a different platform, right? It's to get exclusive content that maybe other people aren't getting. Patreon isn't really built as a platform to build and grow an audience. So even if she gets people over to Patreon from her YouTube community, that's probably going to be the extent that it grows, right? That's probably going to be the extent of the support that she gets from Patreon if she doesn't start setting up some stuff in other places. Quite honestly, I think that Twitch would be a great place for both Amber Lynn and Rosie to take their current content, considering that both of them, for the most part, over the past few months, maybe even the past half of a year, 6 months, have mostly just been doing live streams. And perhaps the confusion is because sometimes people think that Twitch is just a gaming platform, and largely lots of people do live stream gaming over there. But there's a huge community of people who do cooking streams, people who do in real life vlogging streams, people who do streams like me where they're just talking and watching silly stuff on the internet. In the live stream Rosie did, she did actually talk a little bit about not counting Twitch out, but she just kept saying I don't really know how Twitch works. It's gonna take me some time to get that figured out. I don't know how it works. Well, first of all, we do know that Rosie already has a Twitch account because not to beat a dead horse, but she did infamously spend more than 5 to 10 minutes in my Twitch stream watching me. Okay, so she has the account, it exists already, just like she already had the Patreon account from when she apparently supported some podcasts back in 2014. She also doesn't seem to know how Patreon works much better than she knows how Twitch works, to be honest, because even in her post, she talks about how she still has to figure some stuff out about it. So I think really, truly, the best course of action here, if she really wants to capitalize on continuing to grow an audience and get support from people on a platform that at least starts out as free, and there are options for people to get subscriptions, i.e. memberships. I really think going somewhere like Twitch would be a great transition for her. Another thing I think maybe Rosie just doesn't understand is how easy it is to get monetized on Twitch, and so maybe that's something that's keeping her from going the Twitch route, because quite literally to become an affiliate, which is not a partner but still allows you to get paid on Twitch, all you have to do is have 25 followers, stream for 4 hours, and stream on at least 4 different days, while having an average of 3 viewers on 4 different days. She quite literally could achieve this so easily if even the smallest number of people from her current community followed her over to Twitch. becoming a Twitch partner is a little bit more convoluted overall, but still absolutely doable for Rosie if she's just able to bring 75 viewers over from her current community on a consistent basis. And I do think that's something she could do as long as she could convince people to download the free Twitch app and come over. Also, affiliate just makes a little bit less of a percentage of their like subscriptions and stuff than the Path to Partner does. So that's really the only difference. She doesn't even need to be a partner to make money. Don't ask me why I'm offering this free advice. I really don't know why I'm offering it to her. Who knows if she'll take it? Who knows if she even watches me still or not? But that is genuine advice. Like, Twitch isn't exactly known as being great for sharing new content with people. It's not necessarily known for its discoverability for content creators, but it's at least going to be better than Patreon, which is not built to suggest your content to new people at all. I do think it's interesting that in her live stream where she talked about this, she tried to present it like she had spent a ton of time working on this and responding to this and preparing for this. But the reality is that it's all reactionary. And that's, I think, what confuses me the most about both Amberlynn and Rosie getting demonetized. It's that they seemingly didn't have any plans prior to this. Like, I don't understand that personally, but also maybe I just handle my funds and finances differently. Because even people who have maybe more stable work, maybe a more consistent 9-to-5 job, maybe a consistent annual salary, things like that, even those people plan for things to happen, like plan for emergencies, plan for losing your job and things like that. The level of her being like, I need this money now, like I'm really worried I'm in a precarious position is concerning to me. And I think that's the part of like the inconsistency of social media jobs that I think some people aren't cut out for. When it comes to being in a position like this and doing this type of work that is all based on how many viewers you're lucky to have every month and how many viewers you're lucky to have support you in various different ways, you do have to be a little proactive and less reactionary. This sudden push on her end to get people to buy cameos, to get tarot card readings, which I guess is something that she's interested in that I just never knew she was interested in. Setting up these different tiers on her Patreon. It just screams, I didn't plan. I had no plans. I was buying 6 bottles of ketchup because I could at the time. And I might plan by buying a bunch of food in bulk, but I didn't plan to keep a lot of money saved. But I did promise you we could talk about the tiers. So before I get too off track, let me pull up the tiers on her Patreon, okay? She's got 3 separate tiers. The first one is just Quirky's membership, and it's $7 a month, all right? And she says, hello, get access to exclusive members-only live streams, videos, and more through Patreon to support me and my content. And then it says, live streams, general support, exclusive voting power. I don't know what that means. I don't know what voting power implies, but there you go. There you go. Then she has Quirky's super membership, which is $15 a month. The description for this one says, the same exclusive content for Quirky memberships plus more. Plus more, y'all. You'll be gifted a free downloadable iPhone background made by me upon joining this tier, alongside member shoutouts and the content that I make here and on YouTube. You'll get live streams, general support, exclusive voting power, member shoutout, and digital downloads. And it's kind of crazy that she's not even giving out shoutouts for just the basic tier level. You have to pay $15 a month just to get an extra $8 a month to get a downloadable iPhone background and a shout out on her channel. And then there's Quirky's super duper memberships, and for the very cheap price of $35 a month, you get everything in both prior tiers, plus a once a month phone call / Discord call / audio call from a social media site from me for a minimum of 10 minutes. We can talk about whatever you like. I can answer any questions, give any advice, or just get to know more about you. And then again, it's all the previous things plus this phone call. I will say, I think in her live stream, she also discussed that maybe if people didn't want to have like a full-on phone call with her, they could get like a personalized, I guess, Cameo, essentially, which, by the way, she is on Cameo now. I think she's charging like $25 per Cameo, which I charge, I think, $20, so I guess that's reasonable. It's much more reasonable than what Amberlynn is charging. Let's be very serious there. Which, by the way, I'm on Cameo. Did y'all know that? It's the holiday season. It's the holiday season. If you want a cameo from me, Zachary Marie, go check it out. But yeah, can you imagine paying for something so you can get a 10-minute phone call with Rosie Lynn Reed? Like, the level of parasocial she's willing to be with her audience is not for me and my family. Simply DMing with Rosie in hindsight was far more than I ever needed. I can't imagine wanting to pay her so that I can get a 10-minute phone call once a month from her. It also feels like a slippery slope to like far more problems. Far more problems, because Rosie isn't somebody who's really demonstrated that she understands healthy boundaries with other humans on the internet. So girls, if you want a phone call with her, I guess go ahead and pay that $35 a month, girls. But again, I don't know. It's not for me and my family. Another thing I hadn't considered, but was brought up by my Twitch community today, is that she really has set the bar probably higher than she should for herself by giving herself a lot of responsibilities. I mean, I guess it's not really a lot of responsibilities, but when we're talking about Rosie, it's a lot of responsibilities, right? So, like, she's got to remember to actually do these phone calls. She's got to actually remember to send out these, I don't know, iPhone backgrounds or whatever. And this is the girlie that, like, regularly misses therapy appointments, got let go of her stay-at-home job because she didn't show up to work that she had to stay at home for. So, like, I don't know that she has the capacity to actually fulfill all these responsibilities, which I feel like is going to be another issue. But I guess time will tell when it comes to that stuff. One of the things I was thinking about her transition to Patreon, the reason I feel like she's maybe leaning on it as a platform is that maybe it's kind of is like the safe for work version of OnlyFans. And she did used to have like an OnlyFans account and content and things like that, if you didn't know that about her. Which, like, no shade to her for that. Like, I support sex workers, do what you gotta do. But I think the way it's set up is similar enough that she probably feels like she can grow an audience surrounding this Patreon. But I think the key distinction between like Patreon and OnlyFans is that on OnlyFans, there are people that are seeking out that type of content, and they know that OnlyFans is a place you can go to get that specific type of content. Nobody's necessarily going to Patreon so that they can watch somebody cook questionably in a live stream. You know, like, there are plenty of channels that do that shit for free on YouTube. And Twitch, which is a place that Rosie could go to if she wanted. I think in regards to, like, the demonetization of Amberlynn and Rosie, is that I don't necessarily agree with how YouTube's going about it. I hope that came through when I was talking about Amberlynn's demonetization. I think when it comes to Amberlynn, she certainly has had a lot of like eating disorder related content on her channel, so it makes a lot of sense to me about why YouTube would consider a lot of that problematic. Like, she was doing a lot of eating, a lot of her thumbnails were focused on like, hey, look at me, I'm eating a bunch of food kind of things. So it totally does make sense. I also, feel like there probably should have been more ways for Amberlynn to talk to somebody about that. From having my own unrelated problems on YouTube from time to time, it's nearly impossible to like talk to a real life person about what's happening on your channel. And I do understand how Amberlynn and Rosie probably feel really frustrated that they haven't really had an opportunity to get out of this situation. I will say, on that same note though, that they both have had a little bit of a heads up about this. Like I mentioned in my video about Amberlynn getting demonetized, it was like a year ago that the journalist was talking to her, and the journalist followed up with YouTube with some questions, and YouTube went and took down some of Amberlynn's videos. And Rosie fully has seen this all going down and even like did live streams talking about it, claimed she was gonna stop eating on camera, has immediately gone back to eating on camera. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I also don't feel like Rosie really took the potential threat of losing monetization on her channel that seriously either. But also, hopefully this is the kick in the pants to both of them that they need to do some things to change their life. While I don't necessarily like agree with how YouTube has gone about all of this in terms of like giving them a chance to fix their channel and things like that, I also feel like it is morally responsible for YouTube to be like, hey, we see what your content is on here. We don't want to support that. We don't want to financially contribute to you just continuing to make this content that's promoting unhealthy behaviors and dangerous behaviors and self-harm. So I think what Rosie and Amberlynn really need to do if they want to continue having content on YouTube is to really take these 3 months that they're given to reapply for monetization, to build up a catalog of content that's not related to that. Because I will say both of them have had content that's not specifically just about them eating a bunch. Although I will say Rosie keeps insisting on her live stream that the eating wasn't the problem. I'm not convinced that's the case, but she did say that a lot. And another thing she did say was that she felt like Chantal was just really lucky. And I also agree with that. I already made a video a couple weeks ago, I think, about YouTube having a foodie beauty problem. And in my opinion, if Amberlynn and Rosie's content is bad, then Chantal's is worse. Because not only is Chantal engaging in this disordered eating, she's also coming on screen, live streaming for hours while being zooted out of her mind. And while in general, I don't think it's always fair to compare yourself to other channels, I could absolutely understand why Amberlynn and or Rosie would be upset that Chantal was still monetized, because there's so many layers to Chantal's content that is worthy of being demonetized. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's an interesting time in the girl world corner of the internet. I'm curious to see what continues happening, what continues to go on with this new level of enforcement when it comes to this type of content. Anyways, let me know what your thoughts are down below. That's all I have time for today. If you're brand new here, consider subscribing. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!